Ah, the red rose, the symbol of love, beauty, and romance. And I have 3,000 of them that I have to get rid of over the next 4 days. Valentine's Day is Tuesday, 4 days from now, and I have a ton of flowers that I have to move out of the store. I'm Michelle with the Landscape Connection. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you are returning, I'm so glad that you came back. Make sure that you subscribe, click that notification button so that you know when our videos are coming out. Like, comment, and share with your friends. We would love to hear from you. So today we are going to go on a journey to find out what does it take for a florist to get ready for Valentine's Day. Because not only are we a garden center, but we actually have a floral store right inside the garden center that's called Stems Floral. Now, did you know over the next 4 days, 250 million roses, of which 3,000 of them I have to move, are going to get delivered in the United States. That is a lot of roses. So people wonder, why do roses go up so much in price over Valentine's Day? That's why, because the demand and just the sheer volume of roses that have to be produced and brought into the country drive the price up. So 65% of the roses that are going to go out over the next 4 days are going to be red, and about 40% of them will be pink, and then there'll be other colors that people will get as well. I had a guy today order orange, and so you never know what people like, and they will order different things. So I compiled a list of all the things that I had to do to get ready for Valentine's Day. And this started actually way back in December when we still had Christmas decorations going on all over the store. So what are the things that I had to do? Well, the first thing I have to do is I have to pre-order carnations, roses, and lilies. And the reason that we pre-order those is because we want to lock in prices so that we get the best price possible, because the roses that I ordered in December on the pre-order are not the same price as the roses if I have to buy more that I would buy and bring in tomorrow. They're like a lot more. So you want to make sure that you figure out, based on your history, the recipes that you're making, whatever recipes are on the internet, you have to kind of figure out all the different flowers that you need and project how many flowers you think you're actually going to sell, so that one, you don't run out, and two, you don't have a cooler left at the end. So there's a little bit of balancing that goes on placing those flower orders. But other things that you have to do, and I have to get my glasses and put those on because I cannot read this list that I made without my glasses. All right, so other things that I have to make sure that I have to make sure I have cellophane. I have to have curling ribbon, tissue paper, and not only just regular tissue paper, I have to have wax tissue paper. The wax tissue paper we use to wrap flowers. The regular tissue paper we use to wrap presents and gifts and things that people buy in the store. The curling ribbon and the cellophane is used to wrap every single floral arrangement that goes out the door that we are delivering. We wrap it with cellophane and we tie them up with the curling ribbon. The curling ribbon is also used for balloons, and sometimes it's used as ribbon on vases. So there's a lot of different functions that that curling ribbon serves. You also have to make sure that you have ink. I know it sounds like a little thing, but ink for your printers. You do not want to be that person that is pulling the orders off the printer on Tuesday when it's actually Valentine's Day and all the orders are just coming in fast and furious and you run out of ink. Because the next thing you know, you have to stop your whole line of production to send someone to go get ink. We actually get our ink from a company that gives us the printers to use if we buy their ink. So that would be horrible if I ran out of ink. And then you have to make sure you have enough paper, cardstock, things like that. We don't handwrite our cards, we print them on cardstock, so we need to make sure that that printer is loaded with cardstock as well, and we're not running out. Other things that you need to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you have your little Valentine enclosure cards. You want to make sure that if you're going to send out an extra card advertising your business on all of the arrangements, you get those ordered, and then you have those ready to go. You have to have your chocolate, you have to have your bears, you have to have all of the little gifty things like candles and bouquets and other things besides just arrangements that are going out the door. You have to have all of that ready too. And it's not just one size bear. You got to have the bear that hugs the vase, and the small bear, and the tiny bear, and the medium bear, and the large bear, and the brown bear, and the black bear. So you have to have a lot of different varieties of bears so that they can go out with the orders and so that people can choose from cash and carry when they come in the store. Then the candy, we wrap all of our candy, and sometimes when you're cleaning flowers, inevitably you'll break off a flower, and we use those by embellishing our candy boxes and making them look really pretty. And I'll take you around and I'll show you some of this stuff in just a little bit. Other things, we have to make sure we have balloons. So not only do we have to have Valentine Day balloons, we also have to have I love you balloons, because you're gonna have people that want Valentine's, and then you're gonna have people that want I love you. And so you gotta have both. You also have to make sure that you have vases, and not just one kind of vase. I bet you I have 40 different kinds of vases. Now there are some vases that are more popular than others, and there's vases that are specialty vases, and then you have vases that come from a wire service, and you're like, what's a wire service? The wire service is that service on the internet where you place your order, and unfortunately we as florists, they're kind of the bane of our existence. We have to carry those because that's how people order flowers. The goal as a florist is that you cultivate your own customers, and we work hard at that every single day and encourage people to get their own florist, because then you don't pay a middleman and you don't look at a picture on the internet and hope that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get exactly what you want. You're gonna have somebody that truly will take care of you, and you're gonna get your money's worth, because they're gonna fill that order to value, and no middleman is taking any of the money in the middle. So if you don't have a florist, I recommend that you get one. Now, the other thing that we have to do is, let me get back to my list here. We also have to have other kinds of ribbon, like the taffeta or the silk ribbon or the ribbon with the wires, the pretty Valentine ribbon that maybe we're making a big bow with, or we're gonna put that ribbon into the vase. You have to make sure you have other little supplies, like your little cardettes here. These are what you put the enclosure card on. You have to have small ones and large ones to make sure that those can go on all of the orders that are going out, so that when the drivers load their cars up, they know who's getting what. You have to make sure that, let's see, you have to have other things besides just flowers. At least we do. We make sure that we have a nice selection of plants. We have some succulent gardens. We make candles here in the store, so we have a couple different kinds of candles that we made just for Valentine's Day. We have some nice glass pieces, just other things that the guys can cash and carry when they're coming to the store to take with them. You also want to make sure that you have flowers and buckets, because you are going to get all of these flowers and you have to clean every one of those stems. So it's not just roses. You're going to get roses and lilies and carnations, and oh my gosh, the list just goes on and on and on. And you have to have buckets to put all of those roses in. So you have to make sure you have enough buckets, and you have to make sure that they're clean and sterile before you put all the flowers in them. You want to make sure you have those little food packets, so that if people buy bouquets, they can get the little food packet that goes with it. And then you have to make sure you have bouquets. You have to make sure that your sales cooler for carryout is full. And so we brought in 3 different kinds of bouquets, and some bouquets we'll make up ourselves, but we have red, pink, and purple, because that is the main colors that we'll sell at Valentine's Day. So this is an example of a nice, pretty bouquet that we'll put out. This one's done all in pinks, and it's got pink roses, they're hot pink. It's got carnations, daisies, alstroemeria. So it's a nice pink mix. And then we have a purple one, and then we have a red one. And then we also have, you know, roses and bouquets as well. And this doesn't even include the stuff that we put in the cooler. So we'll have other plants too. We have gardenias and jasmine, and we have orchids. So a lot of different things that you can get besides just flowers. So you got to make sure you plan for all of that and bring all of that in too. Other things you need are, oh, well, we have a Valentine decor area, and it's right behind me over here underneath this arch, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. But we set that display up. It was like the first display we set up after we pulled our Christmas down. So right around the middle of January, and everyone that comes to the store that enters this door down here has to walk under this arch to see it. Now, we did that strategically, and I'll tell you why we did that in just a little bit. Other things is, oh, I have to have boxes to have for my bouquets to go in. So when a customer comes in and they buy a vase arrangement, they don't know how to secure that in their car and not have it fall over. So we put it down inside of a floral box and then bag it up for them, and out the door it goes. We have to have Valentine cards. And then you have to have an army of people, because you cannot do this without an army of people and do any kind of volume whatsoever. So I will have on that day, Monday and Tuesday, 6 florists making flowers. I will have one person that's just coordinating the routes, writing the routes out, coordinating the orders for the delivery people to pick up and load in their cars. I'll have one person that will answer phones, take orders, and then they'll just wrap bouquets. That's all they're gonna do. And then they'll wrap candy and put the flowers on the candy and wrap bears and things like that. I'll have another person that will be the front register person that will be answering the phones, and then they'll be typing up all the cards and getting all the vases of all the orders that are gonna print out. Because we'll probably have 100 orders before we even get into Monday, and then another 100 orders before we even get into Tuesday. But then orders will keep coming all day long, and you have to keep up on those too. So we have a system that we use, because the reality is I have heard horror stories from other florists who say, well, we were there all night and I never went to bed and we never got a break and it was horrible. And I'm kind of like, nah, I never want that going on in my store. We are usually gone by 6. I've never been here past that. Usually we come in at 7. I make sure I feed my girls, so I have to plan my food. I had a video earlier where I grew lettuce, and that's growing pretty well, and we're gonna be serving that on Valentine's Day. And they decided that they want taco soup and chicken gnocchi soup, so we'll be making that up for them as well. So we keep them fed. We have 6 florists, and then we're gonna have 6 drivers just delivering. And then I will be a floater that will be moving around the store, just kind of getting anything anybody needs. They need a bucket of flowers, I got it. They need me to run this order over here, I got it. They need me to wrap a bear, I got it. So I'm kind of like that floater. Answer the phone, I got it. So I just kind of do whatever they need to do, or need me to do, and just make sure that the girls are taken care of. We do not want this high stress, everybody's freaking out, because we're not ready. So we take a lot of time getting ready for Valentine's Day, so that when we get to that day, it's high energy, it's fun, the customers come in and we're interacting and they're having fun, because we don't want them to feel like it's a stressed out place if they came to get their flowers. And we certainly don't want our florists at the end of it to go, oh, that was the worst experience of my life and I never want to do it again. So we want to make sure that we create fun when we go through Valentine's Day. But all of those things I listed are all things that we have to do to get ready. So I'm going to kind of give you a little tour here and take you around to some different areas in the store and show you some of the things that we do pre-Valentine's Day to get ready for Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day isn't a 1 or 2 day Valentine orders come in. We actually took our first Valentine order out on Monday. We've had a few every single day. Today, we probably had 60 that went out that were just Valentine's Day. And as we progress closer to Valentine's Day, that number will go up every single day. And then you'll have people that totally drop the ball. Don't be that guy. And don't get their Valentines ordered, and then they're sending them on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, because sometimes all the floral stores will fill up. They can't handle any more orders, and they'll shut their service off, because there comes a point where you can only do so many with the amount of people and flowers that you have. And if you didn't get them ordered, you might run into a floral store that'll say, I'm sorry, we're full and we can't do any more orders. So make sure you order and get it done over the next couple days. Today's Friday. So you want to try and get that done probably by tomorrow, because you know Sunday's Super Bowl and you won't be remembering to order your flowers then. Okay, so let's go take a tour of the store. Okay, here we are. So this is the approach of the store when you first walk in. We strategically put this here because Valentine's this year is on a Tuesday. And for years, we have been filling propane on Tuesdays at a special price. So we actually have a really high traffic day on Tuesday with a lot of men. And that's a beautiful thing for us, because they are going to buy their Valentines from us and it'll be great. So not only do we have flowers, but see, we set up these tables for these nice cash and carries, and they got little bears, just little fun things that they can add to their order. We make our own candles here, and I actually did do research before I made these candles. This one is actually called Love Potion, and it is got honeysuckle, jasmine, green tea, lemongrass, and cedar. And then I have another one called Burning Love, and that one's got black raspberry, vanilla, and cedar. And I did do some research to find out which scents were like an aphrodisiac before I made those 2 candles. Now, we do have other candles in the store, but those are our 2 targeted Valentine candles. So this is our little display here. Here's some I love you balloons, just some bears and fun things. And if it's nice enough outside on Tuesday, we're actually going to take our little globe outside. One of my florists had this, brought it in. I went, oh, that's so cool. And I just love it. I think it's so fun. All right. So let's move on to another area of the store. All right. So another area that we have is our bouquets. And as you can see here, I've got some mixed bouquets up here. I've got some roses that are collared right here. And so there's just some different color roses. There's nothing extra. They're just roses. Then we have our pink bouquets here, and we're calling these Candy Heart. Those are the ones that I showed you earlier. And then we have this mixed bouquet here. It's got the reds in it. We're calling this one Let's Dance. Isn't that pretty? This one's got daisies and roses, baby's breath. And then I have this pretty purple one here. And this one's called Berry Lovely. Isn't that great? I just love these. I think they're so pretty. And these are the main colors that people are going to want. Then we have our cooler, which will be full of flowers. And see, look at our little love pups that we make. Aren't those so cute? We'll sell a lot of those. And then we'll have, let me open the door so there's not a glare. We'll have our single roses, our triple roses. And as you can see, they were still making them over here. And some of them have bears on them. Aren't they cute? And so they'll make a lot of those as well. And so this cooler, they'll continue to fill this up. It'll empty, they'll fill. We'll have some backup stuff in the back. And then we have other things too, like hyacinths and tulips and daffodils. If they want to buy dish gardens, they can do that as well. All right, on to the next area. Okay, so now I've taken you into the bowels of the greenhouse. Well, actually, this is just the hallway that's between the main building and the back greenhouse. And this is where we store all of our vases. So as you can see, we have all of our colored vases here. We just have general glass along this wall here. So these are like your little gathering vases, and we'll go through a lot of these. This is one of the most popular vases. I usually order like 10 or 20 cases at a time. And then you'll come down here and you'll have more gathering vases in different sizes, because you'll have larger orders that will need larger vases. And so they're the same kind of vase. They're just different sizes. So you got your little bud vases down here. So I've got cases of those. Then down here, you've got your cylinders. So we have different size cylinders. And then we have some columnar ones. We have cubes. These are the little glass cubes. So there's a 4-inch cube. See, here's a 5-inch cube. And then we have some vases like this that are shaped like this that are good for bigger floral arrangements. And then we come around the corner. We've got more cylinders here. These are like 5-inch cylinders. I don't know if there's one out of the box or not. Nope. So these are the cylinders here. So this one is a 5-inch diameter, and then this one is a 6-inch. Then you come down this side and we've got more glass, but we've also got what we call codified product. So codified product comes from the wire service that you choose to use to send you orders. And they will come up with different recipes, and they'll have these really pretty vases, and then you order your flowers and they'll send you orders with these vases. Now we use 1-800-Flowers. So like this is one, this is a hobnob. They call it a champagne gold vase. It's really super pretty. So we've had that one for a while. And then you'll have one like this. This one is called Key to My Heart. And this one was brought in just for Valentine's Day. And so one of the things that we do to be efficient with our time is we will, what are these? Oh, those are, we make cakes too. We will actually, and I'm going to take you to another area. We will actually take the order, fill out the card, and then we'll go get the vase and put all the paperwork in it. And the reason that we do that is so that we can be efficient with what we're doing, and we make sure that we don't run out of any particular vase that we're filling orders for. So I'm going to take you and show you kind of how we stage that. So this is the vase room. Not a whole lot to see, but we keep it pretty organized. There's probably 40 different kinds of vases back here. Okay, so now I'm in the back greenhouse. It's probably going to have a little bit of an echo back here. This is our receiving greenhouse. It's also where we store a lot of stuff. Everything that we use for our Christmas walk is stored back here. I do have some tender shrubs that I store back here. One of our seal coat tanks is back here. But this is a greenhouse that we pretty much use for overflow storage, but we stage our vases out here. Now, we started staging vases when Valentine orders first started coming in. And so what we do is the order will come in. And so, for example, this order came in from 1-800-Flowers. It's a Tuesday delivery, and it is the Key to My Heart, which is this red vase. Now, I only brought 2 cases of those red vases in. So what we do is we type up the card, and then we attach it to the paperwork, and then we put the paperwork in the vase, and then we come back here and we put it in groups according to the zip codes of where the flowers are going to go. Now, the reason we do this is if I know how many vases I have and I don't run out. Now, I'm not going to run out of a vase like this, but I certainly could run out of these or these because they're codified, and I only brought in so many. Now, the other thing it does for us is it allows us to be very, very efficient, because what happens is the girls will come and grab all of these vases right here for 61108. They'll make all of these, and then they'll get routed together so that it's nice and efficient and the routes go out. You know, if we got a big order like this one down here where we need to do 22 bud vases with roses, those are going to go out to a florist or not a florist, actually a hairdresser, and we make sure that we have like a way to transport those and bring them in for the salon to be able to distribute those. So this is not even the tip of the iceberg. This table by Sunday will be so full you won't even be able to see the tabletops. We will go into Monday with 100 orders already made, and more orders will come in on Monday. So this year, because Super Bowl Sunday is on Sunday, we're anticipating orders to come in pretty heavy on Monday and Tuesday. Now, by the time we hit Tuesday again, we'll be a day ahead. We'll be 100 orders already done, 6 routes ready to go by 8:30, 9 o'clock. The first guys and the routes will go out, and then while they're out delivering those first routes, we'll start making more flowers. That way, we're not here overnight, because we're very efficient with what we do and very organized to how we're doing it. And then on the backs of these, we've written if it's a business or it's a school. So that way we know that those have to go out first. All right, so that's just a little bit about our, I guess you'd call it our assembly system. All right, this is my production area. I've sent the girls home for the day already. And so we'll have 4 florists working around this table here. We'll have 2 florists working around that table there. And then we'll bring buckets and buckets of flowers out from the cooler. And see, there's some here. There's a big overflow of what we couldn't actually get into the cooler. So these are items that if they sat out, they'll be okay. We have lilies sitting up here because we need them to kind of open up. And so this is our production area here where all the really cool stuff will happen. Here's more balloons over here. So you got more balloons there. And then if you come over here, this is actually our wrapping station down here. So the wrapping station is where somebody down here will coordinate the flowers and put them into groups by zip code, and then they'll wrap. So they'll use the cellophane here, and I get another backup roll here, and then we pre-cut all the curling ribbon so that we would be able to wrap very quickly. Here is the bears, and we restock the bears throughout the day. Our little candy here, and here you can see they've already started to pre-wrap some of the candy, and I put this flower on there just so you can see kind of how we dress that up. It just makes it look kind of slick, and we just think it makes it look good. And so this area here, we have carts down here for the guys. We'll end up bringing out more tables to put the flowers on. We get the boxes ready to go for the carry-out orders so that people can put the flowers right in there and drop them down in the bags like that. It makes a nice presentation for them. So this is where one person will just spend their day down here just wrapping and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping and routing and routing and routing. So they'll hang out down here. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry if the fan is running. It's a little loud, but this is cooler number 1. And I'm going to step in because I have this little bitty spot that I can stand right here that doesn't have any flowers in it. And as you can see here along the edge, we've got lots of flowers that are made and ready to go for tomorrow. And then we've got roses, daisies, lilies. Here's more roses here that aren't even unpacked yet. Some more lilies there. Those are all stromeria. More carnations. Look at these cremones. Aren't they great? I love those. And then that one's a spider mum. That one's called a cremone. And then these are called Matsumoto asters. Then you got the little button mums here. Got some dianthus here. Stock, delphiniums, bells of Ireland. And so that's what's in this cooler here. Now we have white roses because we will end up still doing funeral work while all of this is going on, because that doesn't stop just because it's Valentine's Day. So we have white product in here as well so that we're ready for that. All right, let's go look at the other cooler. Okay, now I am out in, this is greenhouse number 1, and attached out here in greenhouse number 1 is another cooler. So here I've got a box of leatherleaf fern and salal, and then inside the cooler, let's just go in here and take a look. Check it out. In here, I have wax flowers. Aren't those beautiful? Baby's breath. Here's more carnations. Got some beautiful white and purple stock. A lot of greens in here. So we got some leucadendron. Here's some myrtle. That's Italian ruscus back here. Oh, look at these are trays of Gerber daisies in here. So there's quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 10 trays of Gerber daisies in here, and they each have 10 flowers on their tray. Here's some beautiful eucalyptus. This is called tree fern. It's nice and airy. Here's our seeded eucalyptus. some more wax flower. This one is that nice purple pink. Then we've got roses. So we've got red roses here. Here's some hot pink, more red, more red. These are little asters. They're called Monty. So those are a nice filler flower. Then we've got more roses here. More red, hot pink, regular pink, hot pink, more lilies, 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 alstroemeria, more roses, more roses. Every one of these packs has 25 roses in it. Look at these. Aren't those great? Look at the beautiful variegated leaf on there. That is so pretty. I really like that. These are stargazers here. Then we've got some red ones. Got some pink ones, yellow. Looks like more pink ones here. So this is just the other cooler where all the other flowers are. Pretty cool, huh? Lots of roses. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of preparation that goes on to put on Valentine's Day. Our goal is that we're gonna do right around 700 deliveries, and that doesn't include walk-in, cash and carry, or any of that, but 700 deliveries over the next 4 days, or maybe the next 5 days, because you know Wednesday will probably be not just as busy, but it'll be busy too, because people will forget to get their orders in and then be running around freaking out because they didn't get their flowers. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun to watch everybody in high energy, just pumping out the flowers. I mean, being a florist is pretty cool because you're really delivering smiles. I mean, for the most part, you're sending flowers to cheer someone up because you love them. Sometimes it's maybe you want them to be encouraged. Sometimes maybe you want them to forgive you. Sometimes you're sorry and you need to be sorry, and so you send the flowers out. We do send out a lot of sympathy flowers too, but even that is to celebrate a life. And so flowers for me is a very rewarding part of our business here, and I love that we're able to serve our community through Stems Floral. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Michelle with the Landscape Connection. Thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. Have a great Valentine's Day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now. Happy Valentine's Day.